firefighting aircraft dumps water on an inferno below as ground crews race to stop several wildfires from spreading. This one in the village of Kalamos, 50 kilometers from the capital, Athens, ripped through a pine forest and damaged houses, forcing people to flee their homes.
It's a huge catastrophe. All around the village perimeter, everything's on fire. And now behind me, the fire's started again. It's very big.
The forest here in Kalamos has suffered enormous destruction from a fire that possibly started near an electricity pole and spread because of a lack of aerial support. Help didn't arrive fast enough.
In the nearby town of Varnavas, helicopters scooped water from the sea to help extinguish multiple fires. The rugged terrain has made the task difficult for crews on the ground. The region's popular with holidaying Athenians. Local road networks have been closed as the fires expand in several directions, including towards the capital city. Meanwhile, authorities on the western island of Zakynthos believe fires there were started deliberately after 8 separate ones broke out over the weekend. Summer wildfires are common in Greece. 10 years ago, more than 70 people died during the most serious outbreak in decades. Authorities say the latest fires have stretched their capabilities to the limit. Yves Barker, Al Jazeera.
Over 2,000 firefighters are tackling 10 major infernos across central and northern Portugal as authorities struggle to get the blazes under control. Teams of firefighters were drafted in from across the EU on Sunday to assist their Portuguese counterparts after the government activated the European Civil Protection Protocol as a precautionary measure. The fires, which continue to rage in the districts of Castelo Branco, Santarém, Villarreal, Coimbra, Leiria and Aveiro, were ignited by the exceptionally dry and hot weather that contributed to the country's worst forest fire disaster in living memory in June, when 64 people died trying to flee the flames in Pedrógão Grande. More than 140,000 hectares of forest have burned this summer in Portugal, more than 3 times higher than the average over the last decade.
Even as India celebrates Independence Day, the flood situation is really wreaking havoc in Bengaluru. Rains have wreaked havoc across Bengaluru on Independence Day, with low-lying areas flooded, and there is a park out, in fact, from several areas in the capital city of Karnataka. Deepak Bopanna now joining us on the phone line with the details. Deepak, in just a few hours of rain, it seems that Bengaluru, large parts are inundated with flood.
Absolutely, it's quite shocking the way some of these areas are flooded. Mostly it's been HSR layout, Koramangala, where maximum complaints have been reported to the BBMP complaint cell, which many people have been claiming that hasn't been working through the night. Now, we should understand that a lot of work was done to prepare for such a situation by the BBMP, and it seemed like most of them have failed, be it the desilting work or the anti-encroachment drive, where several people were left homeless to ensure that the stormwater drains are cleared so that such a situation does not occur. And what's happening once again is roads flooding, and here you can see it's not just a small flooding that we're looking at, almost the ground floor being submerged. We're also looking at some exclusive pictures coming in now, where we've seen 2 kids who were infants, in fact, and they were being taken away. The whole night they had to spend their night in the first floor in the neighbor's house, after which they were quickly taken away because the situation there is getting worse. Help hasn't reached the residents there. They are hoping that the BBMP does bring in men so that they can clear their homes, get rid of the water. A tough situation early this morning for several residents in these areas.
What was a rice field has become a temporary riverbed. Those in the village of Bhardwa in the eastern plains of Nepal forced to endure the worst flood seen here in years. None of its houses have been left untouched. The floods, the result of torrential overnight rains on Friday. In just a few hours, villagers were forced to flee to higher ground. Laribati Mandal, a grandmother, asked us to see her house.
All our food we'd stored is damaged. My goats have died. There's nothing to eat and nowhere to cook. One villager gave us some puffed rice, and that's all that we've been eating.
Our home has been badly damaged, with the walls literally coming apart. Locals have been trying to save whatever food possible. Villagers say that the flood would not have been quite as bad had it not been for the embankment built by the Indian government more than 60 years ago. It was ostensibly built to control the river Koshi and irrigate land in India. They say the height of these dams also means that there was no way for water to escape the village.
This embankment has been a problem before. In 2008, when it breached, more than 400 people had died, not only in Nepal but also in India. Now the locals are saying forcefully breaking it was the only option left for them to survive.
The exit canals are designed to move water away from the village. They are said to have failed.
Any debris blocks this canal. There is a dead buffalo here. God broke this embankment.
There is blame, but as of yet, no relief to be shared. Until then, the villagers will stay dry on the very same embankment they say is partly responsible for their troubles. Sabina Shrestha, Al Jazeera, Saptari district in southeast Nepal.